Dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ekomananda. Today we're going to talk about Sahaja and why understanding Sahaja is so important. Let's look at the slide. Sahaja predominantly deals with awareness that is concerning what is constantly unchanging. Now, the talk today will be covering the four states of existence and what is Sahaja. And we will be then looking at awareness versus unawareness. And how did I come to the idea of sharing my awareness of Sahaja? And there'll be some small anecdotes. Of course, we'll look at our mind. What does the mind do, or what role does the mind play in understanding or becoming aware of Sahaja? Before we understand Sahaja, we look at the different states of our existence. Number one, the waking state. Number two, the sleeping state. Number three, the dreaming state. Number four is the Sahaja. Now, what is Sahaja? How does Sahaja state correlated with the other states of our beingness? Look at this picture. The Sahaja refers to the natural state of our existence. What is natural? Is the waking state natural? Is dreaming state natural? Is falling asleep natural? Of course. This is all naturally happening. Can we stop the body being awake? Can we stop not going to sleep? Can we stop not to dream? No. Therefore, you can easily consider all of these three states of the beingness that we consciously know that we are aware, we are thinking, we are doing, we are talking, we are making a plan. All of this, these thoughts are in action. The body is doing things. So you come back to realizing these three states are actually happening naturally. So how do we discern or differentiate the Sahaja versus when we are awake? And the first thing is to realize the gap between thought. When we're thinking, we are not actualizing the Sahaja state because the mind is busy. When we are doing, we cannot be at peace. Peace and bliss happen when we are not busy doing. We quiet down, we let the body stay still, be in the place or experiencing stillness, silence. And many of us have experienced becoming light, going to light, and hearing sound and voice, feel that infinite comfort, pleasant sensations. Now, these are all termed, or I consider it to be the Sahaja state experiences. And as you can see, Sahaja is like the whole space, the whole universe, and whatever that encompassing or including our living environment. And it covers or contains the waking, sleeping, and dreaming state. And it is there all the time, whether you are consciously aware, whether you have experienced peace, bliss, or meeting God, it is there. It is at the play It is the background, it's the movie screen behind all of your doings. And slowly this Sahaja state will begin to play. Or in other words, that you will become noticing this piece. But many of people have not become aware of the term Sahaja. People know saltness, people know peace, people know bliss, people know the state of euphoria. Or when we meeting God through therapeutic experiences, through trance, through psychedelic or any other kind of spiritual healing. Now, this is what is happening for most people. The waking state we know, the dreaming state we know, the sleeping states that we also know. And you can see Sahaja, I specifically used a different color so that we can actually know what is Sahaja. Sahaja is at the background, it is in the play, but it's not so present, it is not so obvious. People can't actually quite come to the term, to the awareness. Oh, I understand that is Sahaja. But slowly, as you begin to practice meditation, or your chant, or your dance, and then the Sahaja state become more prominent. In other words, you sort of experience consciousness. You become light. You sort of aware the true self, and you go home. You meet the one. You meet the source. So this is when Sahaja begins to surfacing. And so you can see the waking, dreaming, sleeping state sort of slowly step back. But the Sahaja is not fully prominent yet. It's not absolute on the surface. I call this the level 1 awareness. And this level 1 awareness is associated with the 4th, 5th, and 6th level jhana. And within this level of jhana, we are experiencing light. At the same time, we also experience darkness. We experience expansiveness. We experience infinite light. As we continue to practice meditation, experience more longer period of thoughtness, the gap between thoughts becomes longer and longer. Then we arrive to the second level of awareness, and the Sahaja becomes more obvious. It's sort of like you become consciousness. You associate yourself with consciousness. And this happens through practicing self-hypnosis and sitting, be still much longer. Meditation becomes super easy, and meditation is there all the time. And more experiences of meeting God and become the true self, become I, understand who I am, what I am, why I'm here. In this state, it is encompassing the 9th, 8th, and 7th jhana. It is the non-dual experience, and we are able to immediately convert darkness into light. But when we are into light, we also not become arrogant. We share love, light, and wisdom, and total compassion, and treat others as I. And you are able to downloading information, answering most of your questions. The inside knowledge is very active. Things just become very clear to you. You become a teacher, a guide to many. And you can see the waking state, dreaming state, and sleeping state step back more. It is not as obvious as it was before because Sahaja becomes more apparent, more dominant, and more present. When this state of awareness, presence continues, and this person becomes fully liberated and total self-realization, she or he becomes a guru, God, a prophet, a sage. And the waking state, dreaming state, and sleeping state step back. Everything that a person does becomes automatic. Consciousness is always there, and this person perhaps does not need much food. Total non-attachment to physical material stuff. This already happened in sort of in level 1 Sahaja awareness. 2, no more emotional attachment. This happens at level 2 Sahaja awareness. Number 3, not even attached to the self, not attached to love, not attached to liberation. Liberation is there. This person is totally liberated. And he or she cannot be defined by any term. And this person will be able to perform godly actions or activities such as soul travel at ease. The spirit is there and it is here. It can be manifested in multiple locations. And this God being this figure, the master can also communicate to you through thought. And when you are with the presence of such being, you feel peace, at ease. Your life can be transformed, and just by spending time with them, not even talking. And this is when Sahaja is truly in action, total presence. And now you understand what is Sahaja, but what is the importance or the application to our lives. Let's look at when you're aware of Sahaja and not aware of Sahaja. Now, these two groups of states of being will help you to understand, oh, this is when I'm aware. Now we have waking aware, sleeping aware, and dreaming aware. This is the more superior wouldn't be the right word to say. But if you look at the unaware state, which is most people, these days I'd say 80 to 85% of the population are under this category, are not aware. The not aware, we have the unconsciously doing. For example, our breathing. Now, we say we breathe all the time, but we actually are not aware of our breath. Only when we practice yoga breath work, we consciously, let's say, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Kundalini, or we practice gentle pranayama. Now close your right nostril. We predominantly breathe in through the left nostril. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. When we do so, when we practice breathwork pranayama, now we are consciously breathing. So 99% of the time, we are not aware of our breathing. It just does itself, right? Because we cannot control. We cannot stop the inhale, nor we can stop the exhale. It just happens as the body and the mind is present. It just does itself subconsciously. This is all just happening. So as the heart is beating, we don't control. We have no control about the body releasing the fluid. And when we wanted to go to the toilet, the body just happens. But yes, we can control when we go to the toilet. But when the body feels the urge to go to the toilet, we don't have control. Like when I have the urge, when I allow the body to feel the urge to go to the toilet, we have no control about such unconscious behavior. So as many other habitual behavior as well. And we just cannot control. Or when we reading a book that we so enjoy, we just zen in and we lost our time. So these are the events, scenarios, stories, examples that we are not aware of what is happening. Even though we are awake, we're doing things, but we just lost counting of timing, space, and what is happening around us. Daydreaming is another example that we are unaware. The third one is temporal and permanent loss of memory. That is, we don't recall what happened yesterday or 10 years ago or 30 years ago. It could be by accidental or by physical ailment, a certain disease. Number 4 is mentally ill. Mental illness is the person is doing certain things with no awareness or whatsoever of control. So you can say that the body is doing things, but we can't control certain action that is happening. Now, what I have come to aware is that all of these different states of awareness or unawareness, whether we are dreaming, waking, or sleeping, they have a specific energetic code. Would our scientists be able to decode this frequency, this energetic code? Maybe. And sleeping unaware and dreaming unaware, this state happens to most people. We don't know that we're dreaming. We feel the dreaming is so real, we cannot differentiate whether we are dreaming or we are not dreaming. Now come back to this awareness stage. The awareness stage, first, the waking state of awareness, this happens to everyone. We don't need to go too much about it. The mind is working, thinking, knowing, trying to control, trying to criticizing, and trying to formalizing and focusing on things that we are trying to focus on. Now, the two states of sleeping awareness, dreaming state of awareness, these are the two key states that we can actually develop that awareness in order to strengthen our spirituality, in order to live a life that is more at peace or allow the body to be in the state of peace and bliss. Now, first, sleeping awareness typically associated with the out-of-body experiences, that is, your spirit or your soul come out of the body, but the body is lying on the bed. So that I consider this is certain energy, the soul, spirit, sort of traveled outside of the body. And then we go back and look at the bed. Who's there lying down on my bed? So many people have had these experiences, and this can be very awakening or such a profound enlightenment experience. Number 2, dreaming aware. That is, you are dreaming and you know that you're dreaming. This we normally consider it's lucid dreams. And some people, experts or spiritual leaders consider this is soul travel. That is, you are doing something with the spirit, or the spirit, your spirit has come out of the body, but doing something. And you know that you're dreaming. When you're doing, the spirit is watching, traveling to a certain space, or the event happened in a different dimension, you are aware of it. Now, these two awareness and unawareness state of being, they share certain common traits. As I said, this is my speculation. I would be very, very keen to connect people or scientists or some people who are very spiritually advanced is able to even produce and identify the frequency code for each state of beingness. Now, all of these human experiences, they are equal. Not one state is more superior than another. Not because that I am mentally ill, that means I'm less than somebody who's intellectually super aware. There is no such thing of inferior or superior. Be mindful on that. And Sahaja throughout all of the state. And I'm going to repeat that. In terms of how did I come to aware of this and wanting to share this? And number one is I read books and I listen to podcasts and I watch YouTube channel shows. So I came to be aware that you can actually practice and become more aware when you are dreaming, when you are sleeping. Now, this preparation work, such as breath work, meditation, there are many forms of meditation, chanting, dancing, all of these, you can practice vipassana and shamatha. So listen to different resources or go to see the vipassana and listen to the book called Watching Self Dream, I believe that's the book. When you do so, the first thing or the most important thing that I noticed, because I've been practicing this for the past a month or so, concentration is the key to help us succeed in stay awake. So when we practice watching the self dream, a few things could happen. This is a different way to experience the previous slide. So we remain awake, right? When we remain awake, I could become aware. Like I lie on my bed and watch the body practice yoga nidra, allow the body to relax. I can know that I become relaxed. My body becomes lighter. I become less concerned about the external world. I experience peace. I slow down my breath. So consciously, I am aware. And the second state is I am awake, but I am unaware. For example, when I am in trance, I don't know. I don't know that I am actually awake. I could experience peace and bliss and be totally still, but I have no awareness that this is happening to me. So both awakening state of awareness and unawareness, they can happen through the similar set of exercise, can happen both in meditation and through hypnosis or therapeutic experiences. Now, when the body gets super tired, because you're not going to stay awake for a whole night. I mean, normally, right? We don't stay awake whole night unless you have some sicknesses. So when the body gets tired, we naturally will fall asleep. The falling asleep state also has two stages: awareness and not aware. When we are aware, is that we are actually watching the body falling asleep. So this is the out-of-body experiences. And unaware, that is, we're just falling asleep and we don't know when we're falling asleep. The The body and the soul is intact. It just lie there and rest and healing as well. The third possibility is we dream. Dreaming, there are two stages, aware and not aware. Awareness, I watch myself dreaming. This is a lucid dream, and others call it soul travel. So when you practice, you watch yourself long enough, you keep on telling yourself, I'm going to watch myself, I'm going to watch myself, I'm going to keep myself awake and aware, 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 aware. So slowly you become familiar with the state of dreaming. You will know you are dreaming. However, the fact is most people, we don't aware that we are dreaming. And all of these 6 different states of beingness happens within the scope of Sahaja. Remember, Sahaja is the movie screen at the background. Sahaja is the air that you live in. It's the universe that you came to know of. It's just your life. Now, as I practice watching the self dream, what I notice is why I cannot remain watching myself dreaming or sleeping. Why I can't just be out of sight of the body and not coming back. Well, first we have a body, isn't it? We have the body, we have to come back to the body and fulfilling the body, mind, purpose, so-called purpose. And number 2, when the body is getting tired, if you keep on watching the body, eventually the mind will get tired. The mind just say, okay, now I gave up. I'm going to falling asleep now. So it naturally goes to sleeping or dreaming. Or if the body wants to achieve out-of-body experience so much, but without achieving, so the mind kicks in, get agitated, gave up, right? Do something else. Maybe I'm going to get up, watch a video, watch a movie, stuff like that. And 2, even if the body can do soul travel at ease, at will, is quite confident, quite independent to be able to perform soul travel easily, it still needs a certain amount of a rest, right? The body will need to falling asleep. If the body does not fall asleep in 7 days, we die. Unless God manifests in the body, which is the person has become totally aware, totally realized. And this person is possible to remain awake for a period of time. Number 3, I have mentioned that this many times. Imagine Sahaja is the screen on the canopy. It is the central of the control system. It is always there. It is the infinite light, the infinite source. Therefore, we don't have control of this Sahaja state. However, but the Sahaja has control. Well, I wouldn't say control. Automatically would switch in between different states. This is according to the body-mind state. That is, okay, if the soul is more aware, is more advanced, has been around on earth for many, many lives. So more of these out-of-body experiences, more of lucid dreams can happen because the soul can handle this type of information, can handle this type of a frequency or energy. Because if you imagine someone who's absolutely new, who does not believe in out-of-body, would this out-of-body experience happen to somebody? No, this would drive a person nuts. Therefore, not everybody has these out-of-body near-death experiences. Number 5, it takes practice. When I first started to practice out-of-body, it feels so painful because I don't lie flat. I lie on my side when I sleep. So I have to lie on my back, just to watch my body for an hour, 2 hours. And it gets really painful on my back. So I have to manage and watch the pain without doing anything. And you remain still, and your mind actually somewhat is active, although part of it becomes quite relaxed, but the mind actually has to exercise its willpower to stay awake at the beginning of the stage. And then as you begin to watch your body and then let your body relax, then the state of beingness changes. It is quite a magical experience when you actually watch this happens to your body. So I truly encourage you to read books, practice yoga nidra, and watching the body relax from the skin level, from the blood level, from the muscle level, from the bone level, from the nerve level, from the cell level, and from the energy level, and from the soul level. And you may experience that you become the organ. All this unconscious behavior will become noticeable to you. You notice how the heartbeat. You notice when the body releases fluid, when your tongue, your mouth, those glands release chemical substance. It is very magical. And I was able to generate a full body examination record of my health condition. Oh, okay, the liver is a little bit tense, but the liver needs to relax. The liver is about all lots of your emotions, right? Your concerns about your family members, your business, your clients, all of those. Maybe there's a bit of anger here and there. And I immediately can disregard it. It's okay. I'm not concerned. I just here continuously to relax. And it's quite a fascinating experience. Let's look at the next slide. So the key to perform out of body at will, which means to allow the self to come out of the body, and is first to relax. Relax the body and slow down your breath. Completely softening everything, softening all levels of your beingness, softening your organs, your skin, your muscles, your bone, ligaments, all of those, completely letting it go. And then letting go of the thought, right? The thought will just, when you become very familiar with relaxation, this sahaja automatically just become very prominent. It's just all there. It comes to the surface. It's no longer behind anymore. Now, as we continuously to relax the mind, these are the notes to be aware of. You see, if we insist that certain things have to happen certain ways, and then the body might have some challenging to relax. For example, I can only lie down on the side, then I can never lie down on the flat. On my back, then it cannot relax. So we practice that. We can fall asleep in all ways. I don't have to be on my side. Or for those people, if you lie down on the stomach, you have to train yourself to be able to lie down on the back. Number two, there isn't absolutely right or wrong, because there are many ways to experience sahaja. There are many ways to recognize sahaja. Maybe not at this slide, not even listening to my sharing, you find a different ways to realize sahaja state, or you have different words for it, and that's perfectly fine. Remember to allow the self to open to new ideas, new ways, and new concepts. Why? Because the moment we stick to certain ideas, we stick to old ways, we stick to the old concepts, we're not going to be satisfied. Meaning, we suffer. Why do we suffer? Why do we choose to suffer? Why can't we learn to relax certain ideas? right? Have we ever examined that our ideas are not always correct? And certain concepts, they are faulty concepts or with expectations, jobs expectations, because we are conditioned, right? Why my friend behaves differently to me? Why my friend thinks differently to me? Because they were brought up in a different environment. They were conditioned differently to my condition. Like for me, being an Asian, we are conditioned to get married at an earlier stage. Like when we are entering my 30s, we are just steadily entering family life, have children. But who said that we have to get married? But this is the culture, right? This is the value, right? This is all other people, how people live their lives for years, hundreds, thousands of years. But that does not mean it has to happen to me, right? Or everybody thinks that having more money means happiness. But how do you know that is true? You don't until you have had that amount of money, you live in your life a little bit differently, and you experience more trouble when you have money. I'm not saying having money is a bad thing, but having money creates the need to maintain the money or to double that amount or to prevent people from taking your money away. So all of this happens and keeps you busy. When you're so busy in trying to run around money and managing all the peripheral issues, you don't have time to realize sahaja. You forget about what peace tastes like, what is missing in your life, that I don't feel I'm at ease. I feel so burdened. I feel so heavy on my shoulder, on my chest. You see, I'm practicing non-doing. It's absolutely beautiful. We don't need much to keep the body here, right? My weekly food expenses is about $30. If I go a bit for luxury, $40, $50. That's more than enough. We don't need to excessively taking food more than the body requires. The more you eat, the more the body takes time to digest, and more problem, more burden to the digestive system. So less is more, doing less. And we don't have to do lots of stuff. Because consciousness evolves itself. If the earth has no human beings, the earth would be just like a deep jungle filled with flowers, plants, animals, birds. But the humans here, we create a lot of problems. And the mind is always there constantly wanting to do something. The mind desires to solve problems. Otherwise, the mind would be out of a job, and the mind does not like it. So ask questions when life does not happen the way we want it. Ask, what am I supposed to learn in this story? What can I explore out of my comfort zone? What is out there that I don't know? Are there any other ways I can look at my life a little bit differently? Why everybody meditate? Why everybody, those people who are spiritual, they seems to be so free. Well, what does spiritual actually mean? Can I be spiritual? Can I realize Sahaja? Can I become more aware of my existence? Of course you can. First is to become aware and to come to the true knowledge and challenging what you already know. Relax, be relaxed. total relaxation about your ideas, concepts, perceptions that you already know, because that is only represent one you, and we have 7 billions or 8 billions of us here. That means there would be 7 ideas of this existence. And all is valid, all is relevant, all can be correct in certain way. So ask questions, allow yourself to explore alternative options, and don't stuck with conclusion. And it is okay for us to experience challenges and our life's not moving, that we are encountering drawbacks, and we fall hard. But don't stay there. Don't stuck in darkness. You have to ask. If you ask, and sincerely, consistently, the universe will respond to you. Because you're not alone. We're all on the same boat, doing the same thing and learning who we are and realize the light and the love within. So we continue to relax the mind and just be open and truly be okay with everything. Because if we keep on saying not okay, it's not going to change things, right? So why not we opt for a better choice, a more positive choice? Maybe considering, oh, he's right or she's right. I should have listened better. So the healing of self-realizing is truly a process of unlearning, unconditioning, and relearning what might be more applicable in order to live a life that is free and totally free. When we realize that, when Sahaja becomes prominent, the possibilities are unlimited, absolutely unlimited. And now if you look at the mind has 4 functions, which I already covered the last time. And mostly when we are in the waking state, we predominantly utilize these 3 corners of the skill set. The 3 parts of the functionality, which is the intelligence, the memory, and the ego, the associated identity. Now, this function allow us to judge, to filter, to assess information, to criticize, to perceive, and to decide. And what happens when we need to experience peace and bliss? Now you look at the chart, we have to realize the consciousness, cosmic consciousness, which is the Sahaja state. The Sahaja state allows us to relax, to feel the body, and to listen attentively, to experience life with a different kind of a perception, different kind of idea, and to just let it be, let it happen, because consciousness does itself. We think that with the mind controlling, managing, we can create the life that we desire. My experience is this is not true. Not true. And I consider myself well-educated and intellectually aware. And I always wanted to be successful, to have families, to have family members, to have children. But none of this happened. None. I'm single. I'm never going to have a child. Why? This is the consciousness does itself. There are certain things, certain paths that we are on. We are all on the path. But to realize that path is to really recognize that we don't have much control about our lives. We thought we did, but we actually don't. So we surrender. Surrender is okay. I'll give you my mind. I'm gonna just feel my life. I'm gonna just experience my life. I'm going to just deeply appreciate my life. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to ask for more. I'm not going to do more. I'm gonna just chill and relax and just observe and just let this awareness come in. Let this non-thought, these states of being come in, and realize love and the light is this constant, the cosmic energy. And that is such a beautiful gift. And I'm so honored to receive this gift and to have this opportunity to utilize this body as a vehicle to share what I have come to know. Now, if you have any different opinions, ideas, thoughts, please do feel free to comment. And join us in our fortnight meeting with Sunyata. And he led us a Sahaja session. I highly recommend you to listen to that, that session. Absolutely beautiful. Meditating with him is such a profound experience that we are so fortunate to come to the Master's guidance. So take this information, contemplate it, on it, challenging it, questioning it, verify it, allow it to become your own knowledge. Meditate on this knowledge, practice this knowledge until it becomes your own wisdom. Thank you for watching. May all sentient beings be at peace. Love and light to all.